Senior Minister of State Koh Poh Koon. I'm sorry, Mr. Melvin Yong.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Budget 2019 has been built as a strategic plan aimed at building a strong and united Singapore. I am glad that the Minister for Finance has acknowledged in his budget speech that strengthening Singapore's economic competitiveness is an ever-continuing journey, and there is more that we can do to support Singaporeans in this journey. My speech today will focus on two areas which I think we can do more, especially for working Singaporeans, in training and in workplace safety and health. First, all of us in the labour movement are heartened to hear that the government will be dedicating $3.6 billion towards helping our workers thrive and adapt to industrial and technological changes. With the increasing pace of technological advancement, we must ensure that workers, be it those in multinational corporations or those in small and medium enterprises, are able to tap on training opportunities and ensure that they continue to stay relevant amidst the fourth industrial revolution. From the feedback that I've received in my weekly visits to workplaces and through speaking to a broad spectrum of blue and white-collared workers, I've identified three key challenges facing our workers when it comes to training. They are cost, and time. Let me elaborate. The first challenge that workers face comes when selecting their courses. The government rolled out the Skills Future initiative to encourage a culture of lifelong learning. This initiative has done well, with about 465,000 Singaporeans benefiting from Skills Future credit training subsidies. However, there is an overemphasis on having a breadth of courses available, rather than having in-depth Skills Future courses to help build mastery in the domain. Some have also given me feedback that the process of course selection can be disheartening, especially when they find that a course offered by a polytechnic or university is not eligible for reimbursement by their Skills Future credit. The second challenge is cost. The $500 Skills Future credit offered by the government may not be sufficient for a variety of reasons. Many courses cost more than $500, and often going on a single one-off training course would deplete one's entire Skills Future credit account. Many workers do harbor hopes of returning to school to get that diploma or that degree that they did not pursue when they were younger. But the cost of these courses can be prohibitive, as they are no longer eligible for the same subsidies enjoyed by our young Singaporean students. The third challenge is simply the lack of time. Many working in the SMEs tell me that they do not have time to go for training, as their organizations are already so manpower lean. Those in the MNCs do not have it easier either. They tell me that while they are given the time to go for training in the day, they end up pulling what they call double shifts, having to still complete their work at night after class, in the office or at home. Cost and time are two of the most common reasons given by those who have yet to utilize their Skills Future credits. How then can we collectively work to address these challenges that our workers are facing? I'm proposing three strategies: build depth, bring training closer to workers, and formalize the importance of training with the management. First, building depth. The government can encourage workers to go for training and build depth in their chosen fields by allowing all local polytechnic and university courses to be automatically offset by the Skills Future credit. This should cover all types of courses, be it part-time diplomas, specialist certificates, executive education programs, or one-off specialist modules. Given the more expensive nature of such courses, I would urge the government to consider providing a top-up to the Skills Future credit to encourage Singaporeans to go for these courses that provide them with more depth to support their career goals. Better still, I hope the government can give all adult Singaporeans a second bite of the cherry by providing education subsidies to mature students who wish to pursue a diploma or a degree in our local institutes of higher learning. This would certainly cement our commitment to invest in lifelong learning. Helping to identify training needs and craft in-depth training courses is an area where tripartite cooperation is useful. The National Transport Workers Union has been actively working with the Land Transport Authority and the public transport operators to help our workers upskill and reskill. This includes setting up the Singapore Bus Academy and the Singapore Rail Academy to provide workers with relevant and timely training. Last year, the union worked with SBS Transit to roll out the Operator-Maintainer training course, which empowers our bus captains to perform simple vehicle repairs. At the course graduation ceremony, I met 63-year-old bus captain Varathon. He has been a bus captain for over 40 years. But this was the first time he was taught to do maintenance work on his vehicle. He was one of the pioneers to complete the course and shared with me that there were plenty of hands-on practice during the course, which made the training very much easier to understand. He was also appreciative of this chance to develop skills and knowledge that would come in handy in his daily work. I hope the story of Bus Captain Varathon will inspire many more workers to have a lifelong learning attitude and be open to training and upskilling. Second, let us bring training closer to workers to support them in this lifelong learning journey. Some courses simply cannot be done online. For courses that require a physical premise, our schools and IHLs can be a convenient location for workers to go and upgrade themselves. The labour movement has begun taking steps to bring training closer to our workers. Let me cite an example. The United Workers of Electronics and Electrical Industries, or UE, has signed memorandums of understanding with 3 polytechnics in the West, in the East, and in the North to provide workers with a wide variety of training courses at locations close to their workplace or their home. For SMEs worried about sending their employees for training over a long period of time, we can bring training closer to them by having modular courses offered online. SMEs can leverage NTUC's E2I ULIP app. This is a mobile learning platform that allows users to learn bite-sized modules on the go and take anywhere between 30 minutes to 2 hours off work to focus on learning during the week. Last year, E2I also released ULIP Enterprise, a mobile learning platform where E2I works with companies to curate specific courses for their workers, which I think is very suitable for SMEs to address their workers' training needs. This will not only save employees travel time and hassle, it also minimizes downtime for the company. To ensure that upgrading workers' skills is seen as a priority towards a company's transformation, training must be formalized and recognized by the management. Therefore, I encourage companies to work with the labour movement to make training a shared responsibility and make training real for our workers. Mr. Speaker, let me now touch on workplace safety and health. It is imperative that we continue to invest in WSH practices to ensure that our workers can return home to their families safe and healthy every day. Our closely coordinated tripartite efforts in recent years have started to bear fruits. Workplace fatalities in 2018 has reached a record low of 41 cases. But despite the decrease in fatalities, the number of major and minor injuries have increased. There are 4 areas that I think we can do more to safeguard our workers' safety and health at the workplace. First, we need to place more emphasis on workplace health. Our workforce is aging, and many have shared with me that they are increasingly facing higher stress levels at work. Recent studies have shown that poor workplace health contributes to work-related injuries and fatalities. We can do more to place more emphasis on workplace health. For example, by mandating yearly health checkups for better detection and prevention of chronic occupational diseases. Second, to encourage employers to build safer and healthier workplaces, we need to increase the cost to companies with poor WSH track record as deterrence. Under the Work Injury Compensation Act, all employees doing manual work, as well as all employees earning $1,600 or less per month, need to be insured. Insurance companies should put in place a tiered insurance premium framework under WICA, where companies will have to pay higher insurance premiums if there are many claims of the same incident nature. Third, every company must have a trained WSH representative. The current legislation only mandates for a WSH officer to be appointed in some workplaces, such as shipyards, petroleum processing plants, and factories which employ over 100 people. According to the 2018 National WSH Statistics Report released last week, even lower risk sectors are not spared from WSH accidents. As such, we should consider expanding the requirement of having a trained WSH representative to all companies to make workplace safety and health pervasive in every workplace. Fourth, we need a national WSH training academy. Our workforce is diverse, and it is this cultural diversity in our workforce that makes it challenging to train our local and foreign workers in workplace safety. There are currently 12 approved training providers that conduct WSH workforce skills qualification courses for the construction and metalworking industries. But the training resources at each of these training providers can vary significantly. Having a national training academy will better ensure high and consistent WSH standards across all sectors, particularly in high-risk sectors like construction and manufacturing. I will speak more about this during the upcoming Committee of Supply debate. In conclusion, the labour movement is heartened by the government's commitment and investment in our workers throughout the years, in particular the focus on deepening worker capabilities in this year's budget. This is a government that cares for our workers. Let us continue to invest in lifelong learning and put in place strong measures for workplace safety and health to ensure a well-trained, future-ready, safe and healthy workforce. Because I am very sure this House will agree with me that every worker matters. Mr. Speaker, I support the budget.